a top Japanese male host with an annual income of 350 million yen. After becoming president, he inspects a nightclub in Osaka. To win over his employees, he even treats them to a company trip. 7 p.m. Yaguro, 28 years old, has just gotten off the plane. He must cover half of his left eye with his bangs. This is his signature look. Since becoming president, entertaining guests is no longer Yaguro's primary concern. Instead, he focuses on training his employees to create value, allowing him to earn money passively. Therefore, Yaguro visits the Osaka nightclub weekly to inspect it, checking on the performance. Upon entering the club, a tower of alcohol catches the eye. This is for no other reason than to celebrate the club's manager, Yujin, for selling 11 million yen worth of drinks last month. Thus, tonight will be exceptionally lively and crowded. Yaguro personally steps in to entertain guests at this time, partly because the club is short-handed and busy, but more importantly, to show his junior colleagues a thing or two, demonstrating what it means to have the skills of a top male host. So, although they all work at the nightclub, there is actually a hierarchy among them. The bottom tier consists of these male entertainers, followed by assistant managers, deputy managers, and then managers. These two are usually the top and second in command at the club. Finally, there is the president, which is Yaguro's level. Celebrations aside, his main concern is still performance. Yaguro then calls the deputy manager to understand the operational situation. Of course, when good money is made, he doesn't treat his brothers poorly. For tonight's event, they used 40 bottles of champagne directly, amounting to nearly 100,000 renminbi. Moreover, Yaguro personally poured the champagne, giving the manager plenty of face. The junior colleagues took photos and cheered. One might think they were at a concert. Yaguro specifically thanked the manager, as he is the one making money for him. Saying a few words is appropriate. Yujin, feeling appreciated, naturally thanked the boss for the opportunity and promised to continue working hard. After the grand celebration concluded, Yaguro organized a staff meeting, mainly to motivate and inspire them, urging them to serve guests with more drive, so he can earn even more money. And to win over their hearts, Yaguro decides to take his junior colleagues on a trip. 10 a.m. the next day. All staff members have gathered. With some time before the flight departs, they go to Starbucks for breakfast. Covering one eye is Yaguro's everlasting style. It makes him look suave and flamboyant. If you ever see someone with this style on the streets of Japan, it's undoubtedly him. 1 p.m. After over 2 hours of travel, the group of stylish young men arrives at Fukuoka Airport. Led by Yaguro, they check into the hotel, then head directly to a nearby restaurant for a meal. While others drink from small cups for a taste, these guys are different. They must drink from large glasses to feel satisfied. This isn't hard to understand, as they are professional drinkers. Without a good alcohol tolerance, you'd be embarrassed to work in this field. They might be the ones who can drink endlessly without getting drunk. The purpose of team building is simple: to help everyone get familiar with each other, open up, so they can support each other at work, and achieve better performance together. During this, Yaguro asks the newcomers to introduce themselves one by one. It has to be said, if guys like these can become male hosts, I feel anyone watching could do it too. Not satisfied after just one round of drinks, Yaguro takes them to another restaurant to continue. Not sure if he's truly drunk, this junior colleague claims he will also sell 100 million yen this year. The boss remains silent, quietly listening to his bragging. They keep drinking until midnight. Finally, these guys can't take it anymore. However, they are merely full, not truly drunk. Returning to the hotel, they take a shower, and then sleep soundly. Tomorrow, Yaguro will take them out to have fun again. In Japan, an 18-year-old high school student mother balances school and raising a family. She sleeps only 2 hours a day. Do you know how exhausting her daily life can be? At 5 a.m., no matter how late she slept the night before, Matsuda Seina, now 18 years old, wakes up on time. There's no other way, as both a student and a mother. She has many tasks to handle every day. It's not easy. After simply washing up, Seina quickly heads to the kitchen to prepare breakfast for herself and her husband. Today's meal is fruit cereal and small bread rolls. Nutritious, healthy, and also relatively convenient to make. Currently, Seina's family of 3 lives in Kanagawa Prefecture. Her husband is an ordinary office worker. Because of her cute appearance and cheerful, outgoing personality, she has always been very popular with boys. So much so that 2 years ago, Seina fell in love with a boy 2 years older than her, and they married due to her pregnancy. After finishing breakfast, she goes to her dressing table to do her makeup and hair. Interestingly, when it comes to marriage and childbirth in Japan, people often fall into two extremes. Either they never marry, or they marry and have children early. So there are quite a few young people like Seina. And coincidentally, at that time, the legal marriage age for Japanese women was 16. Therefore, Seina and her husband are legally married. After changing her daughter's clothes and diaper, Seina feeds her breakfast. As both sets of parents are still working, they can't provide much help on a daily basis. So Seina has always managed both school and caring for her daughter herself. From Monday to Friday, her husband takes the child to daycare. At 6:30 a.m., Seina gets ready to leave for school. As a third-year high school student, her workload is heavy. To balance her studies and family, she has given up a lot of time for extracurricular activities. Every day after class, she immediately goes grocery shopping and rushes home. Although Seina is very young and living a life akin to a housewife's, she says she has never regretted having her daughter, because her parents have supported her all along. This has given Seina more motivation. After resting briefly at home, she heads to the kitchen to prepare dinner for the family. Since getting married, Seina has cooked almost every day, all to provide her husband and daughter with healthy food. It must be said, whether as a wife or a mother, Seina is quite responsible. Not only that, to help support the family, she also works part-time as a model on weekends. Although she doesn't earn much, it at least helps with some household expenses. After all, the cost of living is so high now. Relying on just one income would be very difficult. After Seina's efforts in the kitchen, a table full of dishes is soon ready. However, as a mother, eating the freshly cooked, hot food immediately is impossible, because she must feed her daughter first. After a whole day of busy work, Seina rarely has any time for herself. Right after finishing feeding, she must soothe/put her daughter to sleep. Although initially, this pace of life almost made her break down. Fortunately, Seina persevered step by step and made it through. Now, being able to sleep steadily for 2 hours a day was something she couldn't even imagine before, because she often had to wake up in the middle of the night to feed the baby. Often, she would only nap for a short while before going to school. For classes, the most her husband can help with is washing the dishes after meals. At this time, Seina quickly goes to take a bath, because she still needs to find some time later to do homework. Although she has completed life's biggest task early, having a child, she still faces university entrance exams and finding a job afterwards. So Seina doesn't dare slack off in her studies at all. In her view, life depends on oneself. One shouldn't place all hope entirely on a man. Otherwise, the one who loses out will always be oneself. Typically, Seina studies late into the night. It's only a little past 2 a.m. now. She will continue reading until 3 a.m. before going to sleep. In Japan, a young woman with low education who couldn't find a good job could only return to the countryside to farm with her parents. 7 a.m., 25-year-old Nato Uchiko is already up and driving to the fields. She lives in Akita Prefecture and is a young female farmer. As it's currently the planting season, she has been leaving at this time every day to work. After arriving at the field, the first task is to unload various farming tools from the car. Then her busy day truly begins. The reason she chose farming in the countryside at a young age is actually due to her low educational background. She repeatedly faced rejection job hunting in the city, with almost no stable or decent job opportunities available. Having no other choice, she could only leave the high-pressure, urban life behind and return to her hometown early to manage the family's small farm with her parents. Since she couldn't establish herself in the city, she simply returned to the land and embraced the hardships of farming. Although she deals with mud and weeds daily, compared to the tough days striving in Tokyo, she actually feels more at ease living in her hometown. She admits that while her income isn't high, averaging only about 200,000 yen per month, the cost of living in the countryside is far lower than in the city, so the financial burden isn't as heavy. More importantly, she no longer has to deal with complex workplace relationships or participate in exhausting social events. Her current life allows her the freedom to do what she loves, even if she faces monotonous physical labor daily, which might seem dull. Uchiko still maintains high spirits, especially during planting season, when she clears away weeds by hand, prepares the soil, and sows new seeds, and later eats the fresh produce she grew herself. It gives her a great sense of achievement. In her view, no matter how much money she ultimately makes, life must go on. There are ways to live even with less money. What's important is living with peace of mind. After more than 4 hours of work, Uchiko finally takes a short break and prepares to pick some vegetables from the field for lunch. Because her usual farm work is very demanding, she doesn't have much time to cook complex meals, so lunch is often very simple. She picks some vegetables casually and can eat them after a quick boil. After filling her stomach, Uchiko rests for about half an hour before returning to the fields to continue the unfinished farm work. Despite her petite figure, she is very capable when it comes to work. Whether it's carrying heavy loads, weeding, or fertilizing, she can handle it all by herself. Indeed, when driven by passion, people can unleash unimaginable strength. The field area she currently manages is quite large. It takes at least 8 hours of work daily to complete everything. Although the physical exertion is great, leaving her sore and aching. Fortunately, during the year, only the 2 or 3 months of planting season are the busiest. Other times are relatively easier. Around 4:30 p.m., Uchiko finally finishes her day's work. After that, she changes clothes. Then, while eating, and casually prepares some food in the car, she looks at the fruits of her labor in the fields. This is a day in the life of a Japanese woman with low education. What are your thoughts on this kind of life? So, after watching this video, feel free to leave your comments and discuss below.